really cute. I am bringing you a wonderful night, and this is kind of near and dear to my heart. Ori and the Will of the Wisps, we are doing a blackout bingo, discovery bingo. The way that that's going to work is that on the board, you'll see that there's going to be 2 squares available. We will be posting this in chat. And once our runner, Shonovan, who will be introducing with our commentator, Covert Muffin, we will be explaining to you about the blackout bingo as soon as we discover more of the tiles. But the way that it works is that as soon as we get the tiles done, we are going to discover the adjacent tiles on top of that. So this is going to be a very fun, different, unique show. I am super, super looking forward to it. I have played Ori and the Will of the Wisp randomizer myself. I also love Ori and the Blind Forest Definitive Edition randomizer as well. Sorry. So in the meantime, though, I want to introduce Shonovan and Covert Muffin. Shonovan is the runner, and Covert Muffin is our commentator for the evening. Say hello, everybody.
Hi out there.
Hi.
So I'm really, really looking forward to the show. Definitely, whenever we are ready to go, Shonovan, if you want to say hi and tell us a little bit about the randomizer bingo yourself, you could go ahead. If not, we are ready to go on your count from 3.
All right, so one thing I want to say, so I'm doing Blackout Discovery Bingo, and then in addition, I'm going to defeat Shriek after I have cleared every bingo square on the board. And so I've got a 5x5 grid of bingo squares, and they all have goals of stuff that I need to get done in the game in order to complete those squares. And so I need to complete every single one. There's no dodging the hard ones, and in my opinion, that's what makes it interesting.
Yes. I am looking forward to this. And then Covert Muffin, would you like to say hi to everybody, to our lovely chat?
Yeah, sure. Hello. I'm mostly known for my Blind Forest speedrunning of the randomizer because I have like thousands of hours in that, but I've also put in like hundreds of hours into the Ori and the Will of the Wisp randomizer as well, and finished top 10 in the recent tournament as well, which was cool. But that being said, Will of the Wisps is like a spiritual successor of the original game, Ori and the Blind Forest, but it's very, very different. It definitely plays a little bit more similar to like Hollow Knight, like you actually have like a sword and other weapons that you're going to be seeing, but there's a lot of the similar skills, and so I'm really excited to see what happens, especially because we're playing with a feature known as random spawn, so we may just not even be in the starting area for the beginning of the seed. So we'll see how Sean tackles that, as well as going through and opening up the bingo board as we get through the first 2 tiles. Yeah, but good luck, Sean. Gonna do great.
Yes.
All right. So I think I'm ready to go. Do you want to count me down?
Sure. All right, we are going to be starting in 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, here we go. Playing on normal difficulty.
Cool.
I'm super
All right,
curious
wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so we started with Sword, Regen, and Burrow, which is actually a pretty massive thing. Having Burrow is one of the hard locks in the randomizer itself, which basically means that the only way to get access to certain pickups is by having the skill Burrow itself. So having this late game ability this early in the seed is actually incredibly, incredibly nice. But with Burrow, we're going to see this late game area with spikes that will just end up one-shotting Sean. But there is going to be a lot to do. Waste is definitely one of the best spawns for like faster seeds, just simply because the density of pickups in the starting area especially is very, very high.
For me, I really like I was going to say, I really like the random spawn. It's always like, so what it means with the random spawn, it literally just pops you into that world, into that zone, into that area. So that's what makes it a lot more, I would say, spicy. And it makes it more interesting too.
Yeah, we like currently have no way of getting to the starting area of the game so far. We're going to have to try and figure that out as we progress through the seed. But I know Sean, being an expert of this game, is going to do a fantastic job. But there we see the 40 Dogecoin, and this is actually just Spirit Light, which we're going to be using for that first square that we see. So we see 2 squares so far. Drain Qualix Hollow, which is going to require Bow as a skill to be able to get access to that in order to be able to get to the area where you drain it, and then spend 4,857 spirit light. So if you see like a pickup in the top center or the bottom center of the screen that has a number associated with it, that most likely is going to just be spirit light. But there's a lot of different names that will show up because Sean has a setting to just randomize the thing that he's collecting a number of. Okay, so coming through here, we did activate that tree. And an interesting thing in speedrunning bingo that you need to consider is, first, let's talk about Lupo. So in every single area, there is this vendor Lupo that if you have a certain amount of spirit light, then you can end up buying a map. And the map for the randomizer also has some other additional things that we get when we buy the map, right? As speedrunners, we already know where all the pickups are. So in order to make that more interesting for us, we actually added in some additional functionality where after you purchase a map from Lupo in the area, this will tell you how many skills as well as how many teleporters you will end up finding in that area. So there, Sean just ended up spending the 150 spirit light, and we see 4 skills and 1 teleporter. So not too surprising to see a number as high as 4 for the number of skills, but that also is going to be a good indicator that Sean's going to be hanging out in this area for the next foreseeable future in order to track those down.
Makes sense. Yeah, it's definitely nice to have those like little, I wouldn't call them clues, just so that you're able to kind of help navigate the world. The Ori Will of the Wisp map is 10, like it's way bigger than Ori in the Blind Forest Definitive Edition. Like there's so much more to explore, even in the zones themselves. So like the wastelands, there's like 2 sections of the wastelands. There's the west side and then the east side. And Grapple's a good one. Do you want to explain Grapple, Covert?
Yeah, Grapple is really handy. It's going to allow us to interact with like blue things that you'll see just around the map. Yeah, so like there's a grappable lantern that if we just actually end up coming close to those sort of lanterns, you'll see them light up with a blue circle around it. And that basically just means that Sean can, as you might imagine, use that grappling hook to just attach to them. It's just a nice skill. It's usually not required to finish out seeds, but it is going to make certain things a lot easier to do, especially in the mid-game section where you normally would get the skill. But yeah, Grapple is going to be the first of 4 skills. If you're just joining us now, once again, this is going to be Will-O-Wisp Randomizer. So the pickups themselves, that's a nice one, Sean. Do you want to talk about the jump grades?
Yeah, so we're playing with a setting called Bonus Plus. And what that means is there are some items in the pool of random items that we can get from pickups that are not in the base game. They're instead, new to the randomizer, and jump rate is one of those. And quite simply, it makes our jumps a little higher. And it has some interesting interactions with some other skills, which we might talk about later. I don't think we can
for sure
that way.
Yeah, so if we end up finding double jump, which is sort of like a classic in games like this, like platformers in general, that jump grade is definitely going to be showing off how incredible it is, or if we find something like hammer. But that being said, we also have the sword that we're starting with. This is actually probably one of the most utility pickups for us speedrunning the randomizer. It allows us to do a lot. Like, it allows us to get a little bit of height. So if you see Sean do an up slash or a down slash, that is just simply to get a little bit of additional height. But then also, if we do any of the sword attacks in the air, the first time we start like a sword attack chain in the air, it will actually just like halt our vertical momentum. So if you're like falling down, you want to slow down that descent, you can just sword slash once to do so. But also it's a way, if we find other skills later on like double jump, it's a way of like also getting additional height, as well as crossing great distances if we don't, even without skills like dash or bash to help us assist in that way. The sword just really, really is an incredibly nice pickup to just start with a seed with. Oh, nicely done.
So if you noticed, 3 health is really hard to navigate in this. So the wastelands, in my opinion, would be the like later difficulty levels. The health fragment's good. So now that we got a health fragment, it's going to be able to like navigate this area a little bit better. But when you're very limited on the skills in such a, how do I put it? harder difficulty area, it makes it super interesting. And having 3 health, we need a little bit more health just to kind of have that survivability.
Yeah, totally. And I think this is one of the reasons why I'm really glad, Sean, you decided to do random spawn, especially, is it's showing off like all these maneuvers, and everything Sean's doing looks a lot easier than it actually is to progress through the areas itself. But over here, this is nice. So there was grapple being used. It's just nice utility there. And then we can also use it on these blue moss things that we'll just see all around the map. So very nicely done from Sean to be able to progress up there really quickly in order to get that pickup, even without activating the wheel. And there, nice sword hover to be able to get over those spikes, but just Spear Light for our troubles. So we still haven't found any of those 3 other skills that are in the map itself. But yeah, as you can see, Sean's kind of panning around. You can see just how absolutely massive the map is. And an interesting note here as well is that there's only 1 teleporter in this area, and that could be just sort of the hard lock that is expected as progression. So basically, you can think of progression in a randomizer as you find a pickup. Usually it's a skill or a teleporter, or it could be something like resources, and that allows you to be able to check additional pickups once you find that skill or resource. So that teleporter, that 1 teleporter that is in wastes, could be sort of the thing that the randomizer expects you to find to be able to progress. But very, very nicely done. That maneuver there, especially to get up into this area, is very, very tight. So very nice, Sean.
Nicely done, yeah. I could remember doing that a few times myself. Those little sand things get you.
So we have a question in chat. What's the total pickup count? It is 388. But there we go. Next skill is going to be Dash. Dash is going to be very, very handy for moving around the map.
Yeah, Dash is huge. It's going to make it a lot easier to navigate around this area and get that pickup I just gotten right now. Oh, wonderful.
Wow.
Nice.
The TP is the area at the very end of the game. The most difficult area to navigate.
Yeah. Yeah, Rue's bringing up this excellent point, right? We're in this late game area, so it expects you to have so many more skills and so many more abilities to help traverse, and so many more resources, just things like health and energy to be able to get through in a normal playthrough. But he just found the Willow's End teleporter, which is the final dungeon of the game itself. And so that area in particular has a lot of instant kill sort of things that are going to reset your positioning and the like. Oh, yep, nicely done.
Nicely done.
Okay, there is bow efficiency. It's, I believe, going to cut the energy cost of bow itself, which will be handy if we find bow. Bow already doesn't really cost too much to begin with, so... but that's nice. Bow is a pretty favorite weapon of the speedrunning community itself for the base game, which we will hopefully find because we do have Drain Qualix Hollow as a bingo card, and so depending on when we find bow, that will open up Sean's options to be able to move through. But yeah, once again, if you're just joining us, this is a speedrun of Will of the Wisp randomizer itself. Sean Oven is the runner. I'm Covert Muffin, the commentator, and joined by Kiryu, or Rue, who is the show host itself.
Hello, I'm here. I did see a good question for anyone that is coming in chat that is new. What's Blackout Discovery? I could take this, question. Or you could take it, Covert.
Go for it, Rue.
So the Blackout Discovery, essentially we are following, there is, if you see on the screen on the overlay below the runner, there is a board, and on that board we're gonna complete this whole entire bingo card, and it's all blackout. So we cannot finish until we are done with this whole entire board. But the discovery part is the important part. So the way that the discovery works is when we are done with 2 set items that are on the board right now, whatever gets done first, the adjacent tiles will reveal themselves after that. So it's a different style and gameplay that you could do when it comes to a bingo as well as a randomizer. It definitely changes the way that the game plays, but also you don't have to just follow the board. You have to get your strategy, hone in on those 2 cards, and then whatever becomes available, that's when your next strategy becomes available. It gives another layer on top of the layer of having to deal with the random spawn, and like what skills are being randomized. So it's nice to just strategize on the go when you have these multiple layers of it.
Yeah, indeed. And so we're going to see Sean work through. We're still sort of in the early game of it. So right now, Sean's objective is just literally to track down skills and resources to be able to progress. And oh man, brutal. That death can be kind of annoying because now Sean has to like go back through. But the nice thing is that the floor, if he breaks it, still remains broken. But ooh, nice find there on that shard. That is going to be reckless. And so shards you can sort of think of similar to like badges in other games where pretty much you have a certain number of shard slots, and that will allow us to equip these badges, which will end up modifying Ori passively. And so reckless is very good for the speedrun itself, just simply because it actually just increases our damage output. So the base shard itself, unupgraded, is going to increase our damage by 15%, as well as increase the damage we take by 15%, which is not great. But for combat, especially against Shriek, it is going to be a very, very nice shard to have.
It's reckless.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, I had to do that. I had to do that. I'm sorry, I had to do the pun. I had to.
Good.
Oh, that's a nice fight. What the hell's for gender? Ooh, that's even.
There we go.
Yeah, it's gonna get fun now.
Yeah,
it's always been fun.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. So a really interesting note here. So Sean finding double jump is going to be really nice, and double jump with sword is actually amazing. And whoa, there finds triple jump immediately. This is so nice, Sean. That's amazing.
This seed just got a lot easier.
Yeah. So triple jump is a shard, and it gives us one additional jump, and this may not seem like a lot. But for something like a 2D Metroidvania platformer like this game is, just having the capability of jumping one additional time is going to be absolutely, absolutely amazing. But here, Sean earlier purchased a clue, which just pretty much told us that there were 4 skills in total hidden in wastes, as well as 1 teleporter. Thank you, Sean. So there we see 3 out of 4 dash, grapple, and double jump, which he's found, and he's already found Willow's End teleporter. However, we don't actually have the capability of going to a new area yet. But there we go. There is Bash. Bash is going to do it. That is going to be very, very nice for us to be able to progress through. So we do have one area we can go to right now, but really for the majority of the map still isn't open to us yet. And now that Sean has found all the skills, all the teleporters in this area, we know that the remaining pickups, all they can be are either bonus items or just general resources that you would get throughout just playing the game, like Spirit Light or health fragments, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So Sean is now just going to port over and start working towards the left, which is going to be the grand majority of the map. But nice, having Burrow here just allows us to skip feeding grounds, which is very, very nice. And now Sean is just going to continue into Silent Woods, which is usually like a end game sort of a section. It's very, very core to the story itself, but we don't know how many things are in Silent Woods, and we won't know. But just simply there could be something important. And you see there the combat shrine Sean is actually not going to do, just simply because it's one pickup that's gated by like minutes of combat that you have to work through. And with this toolkit, it's actually kind of one of the harder combat shrines to do, just simply because we don't have a ranged weapon yet. But nicely done doing feeding ground skip again. Well done as we progress into Silent Woods. So we know that there has to be something in Silent Woods for us to be able to progress and continue with the siege.
I always want to call Silent Woods Silent Hill. I don't know why. I just do.
Oh, good. I'm sure that would make Eternal Enigma quite happy. And the other Silent Hills speedrunners.
Yes.
But there, Sean just ended up saving at that way shrine. And so those waypoints are sort of forms of fast travel that Sean can take to backtrack a little bit quicker later on. So just grabbing that is nice. But here we see some sword hovers utilizing double jump with sword slashes in quick succession, which was a form of tech that was discovered by a speedrunner whose screen name is Hetfield, and was one of the things that ended up revolutionizing the speedrun, especially the early game. for the speedrun itself. Cool, but yeah, just breaking that lantern there and just refilling on health as they're going through. Their sentry efficiency, that is actually going to be really incredibly nice if we end up finding the skill sentry itself, which is a skill we'll talk about if we find it, but it is a form of major speed tech. If we end up finding sentry, and having the efficiency pickup as the bonus item is going to allow us to do more of the sentries for less energy costs.
In my mind, I'm looking at the board, and I'm still trying to decipher how we're gonna drain the Qualix Hollow. Like, I can see the spend Spirit Light. That's totally easy in terms of just like, oh yeah, we could just spend that. It's a lot, but we could spend it. But draining Qualix Hollow is going to be quite fascinating to watch Sean do.
Yeah. So the Drain Hollow is going to require the skill Bow in order to be able to do, just simply because there's like one thing that you have to hit with Bow in order to be able to move a block into like a position to be able to activate a switch to open a single door. So nicely done, Sean using regen there in order to heal up, and then coming over for this pickup. It's Thorn, which is probably one of the most disappointing shards in the entire game. I once tried to do like a challenge run where I had the bosses kill themselves using Thorn, but it just like it didn't work. It didn't work. I was very disappointed.
I'm with you on that. I could just imagine it right now.
But we're running out of pickups here in Silent Woods. Very nice find there on the Keystone, because Sean's going to be coming up to a key door in a bit, and so getting to those Keystone doors without the Keystones doesn't allow us to progress through the doors. And that's actually one of the massive changes from the randomizer to the base game itself, is that we actually have the capability of opening key doors from the opposite side. So there, right, putting in the 2 Keystones from the opposite side is something that was added into the randomizer to add variance to seeds, which is very, very cool to see. But yeah, I mean, we're running out of pickups and we don't have access to like any other portions of the map. So my guess is that we're probably going to find something like clean water, or Sean's going to end up finding a teleporter to a early game area. But we are just sort of running out of pickups where progression could be, which once again just basically means progression is just finding a skill or an ability or some form of resource or teleporter that gets us access to more pickups within logic, which is this construct of when the seed is generated, that it just guarantees that every single seed you start can be finished. And so we are currently playing on Gore-like logic, I believe, which is going to be one of the more sort of advanced modes. Like, you're expected to think a little bit more outside the box with a lot of it. But yeah, just like maybe 1, 2 pickups, 3 pickups that are going to be left here, I believe. And there it is. It's clean water. Yeah, that's no surprise to see that as the next bit of progression. Clean water is one of the skills that just opens up a large portion of the map and is absolutely critical for finishing out seeds, especially ones that are as lengthy here.
Have we talked about wave dashing yet? Because I've just used it a few times here.
Yeah, so wave dashing is dashing into a wall and then turning around and pressing regenerate at the same time, like immediately after starting a dash. And that allows us to get some nice big zoomies. So if you see Sean just like set up next to a wall or something and then just end up dashing and then turning around, that is going to zip him like very, very fast. And that is wave dashing.
Okay. My controller's messing up here.
Uh-oh.
Oh. Well, I'm seeing Ori swim in an interesting way.
Yeah,
It's definitely not seen Ori swim like that before. Always a new thing to see. Actually, this is a good question while we are sorting this out. This is a good question to ask. Sure. Is wave dashing a deliberate secret tech?
So it is just a glitch within the game itself. So it's not expected by the devs as far as we know as speedrunners, but it was a form of tech that was discovered by the speedrun community. Yeah. But there are certain things around regenerate in general that are a little bit weird. So for instance, if you press jump and regenerate at the same time, you can actually move. Usually you have to stand still for a little bit and then that is what ends up healing you with regen.
Oh, it's mouse aiming? Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. So I think you have to set that within the launcher itself.
Oh, okay. I've never run into that before.
Okay. We may just want to go to a break screen really quick.
Yeah. We could go on a quick little break while we are sorting this out. We'll just do like a little quick 5-minute break and then get back to you all in just a few short minutes. Let's just go get some water, stretch. It's always good to take a stretch break while we are coming back to you. Well, hello, everybody, and welcome back. We are ready to go. We have been swimming. We are swimming. Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming, swimming. Anywho, let's get back into Ori and Will of the Wisp. When we are ready to go, I'm going to do the countdown. So, 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay. Yeah, so far, excuse me, if you're just joining us, Sean just found clean water, which is going to really open up the map a lot. It's going to allow us to get access to one of the early game areas, which is known as Qualix Hollow. However, there still is a door in the way that we can't quite get through because it requires to be opened by Bo from the other side. But this opens up like the grand majority of the map. Actually, that's not true. We can get access to it because we have Burrow and clean water. Yeah, so like now that we have clean water and Burrow, like the world is Sean's oyster at this point. There's so many pickups now that are just in logic for Sean to be able to track down. So, that's nice. Another jump grade, which is just going to be a bonus item that's unique to the randomizer that's going to allow Sean to jump even higher every single time he jumps. And with double jump, that is also compounded, but wow, finds grenade as well. Very, very nice.
That grenade is always fun to find. I don't know what it is about grenade, but we're going to see some magic with it. That is for sure.
Yeah. Grenade, as we're going to see Sean utilize, is also a form of tech within the randomizer itself. Yep, there it is. So if you end up pressing jump and grenade very close together, we usually just bind it to a single key that allows us to do both, but Sean's on controller, so I'm not quite sure. But yeah, there's a cutscene trigger there, so he just zips through the ground, saving just a little bit of time. He could have swum, but oh yeah, here's a wave dash. Very nice. Very, very nice. But yeah, so grenade, basically it is something that's kind of similar, which is in this game for storing momentum. Wow, okay, yep. So we have a bajillion jumps now, which is amazing, and 2 jump grades is incredible. But pretty much with grenade, if you activate it while you create momentum in a certain direction, it's going to store that. So having bash and grapple, I don't know why grapple is, it just is within the physics engine requirement. But with bash and grapple, we can do zoomies off of lanterns and enemies. With double jump or just jumping off the ground, we can end up storing our vertical momentum that we build from just jumping off of the ground. And then having double jump just allows us to further utilize this. So having grenade is one of the most powerful forms of abilities for us within speedrunning the randomizer itself.
I'm spoiled with mobility options right now.
You really are.
Yeah, this is incredible.
Honestly, it's a treat to see because now you can kind of show off some of the tricks too. That's what's great about these mobility options. Like I love seeing grenade and how you can like float with grenade, or even the wave dashing.
Yeah, and it's something important to really state is that the randomizer itself does not gate pickups behind these glitches that we see like Sean using or the bonus items themselves. So the jump grades itself is not going to open up a new path. And the grenade floats as well are not going to open up a path. However, bashing off of a grenade could be a thing that the randomizer may expect Sean to do to be able to go through. But oh my goodness, another extra double jump. We're up to 5 jumps?
Yeah, I think we're like cinco. I don't know.
Yeah, triple jump and 2 jump upgrades. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. I can't get over how many jumping. This is my kind of seed. I love jumping.
Yeah, this is amazing.
This is a very comfy seed.
Okay, so here's a quest. Doing quests will actually also get us pickups. So there we just ended up getting 43 brownie points, which is once again just very nice. Once again is just Spirit Light, which we're going to be able to spend at shops. Which is very nice because we're coming into Glades. Glades is going to be sort of like the town area that sort of like town trope within video games and stuff like that. But we also have maps that we can end up purchasing to be able to potentially see how many things are in Glades. And there it is. We have the hint that there is indeed 1 skill in Glades and 2 teleporters that we could end up tracking down. The good news is that teleporters are not going to be as important to Sean as they may be in other seeds, just simply because we have so much mobility within the game, but there still are at least like 1 to 2 teleporters that would be very, very massive time saves for Sean, especially with grenades in particular. But that being said, we also have Burrow and Clean Water. I cannot continue to bring this point up enough. Just simply Burrow and Clean Water opens up like the grand majority of the map, regardless of where you are, just on the map when you spawn. But yeah, so in Glades, there are going to be 2 shops where we can end up checking and purchasing things, and the shops are randomized as well. So they may end up having skills or teleporters associated with them. But also there was Lupo, the map vendor, that gave us a hint as to how many things were going to be in Glades, which we saw that there was only 1 skill and 2 teleporters. And then there's also a sort of town improvement shop, I guess you could call it, where Sean's been finding these resources known as Gorlek ore, which after collecting a certain number of those, you can end up upgrading 1 portion of the town, which opens up pickups in Glades. So one of the things that could have really lengthened the duration of the seed is if some sort of hard lock pickup, which means without that pickup, it's impossible to be able to check certain areas of the map. So hard lock pickup. So if a hard lock pickup is gated by being able to rebuild Glades using the Gorlek ores, that could be one thing that would really lengthen the seed. But the good news is that we have Burrow and Clean Water already, and Grenade as well, with double jump and 1,000,000 jump grades. So like Sean really realistically could speedrun his way to almost every single pickup right now on the map. So we're probably not going to have to worry about rebuilding Glades this seed, which is very, very good.
Yeah, that is honestly, it kind of puts like an ease of mind, a peace of mind, because if you don't have to build the whole town, you're not being like, you don't have to collect as many ores as well. Ooh, Sentry.
Wow, that is massive. I mean, it would be massive if Sean already wasn't stacked with like a million verticality, but just Sentry is one of the first forms of speed tech we ever discovered in speedrunning this game, which when we do an up slash with a sword and Sentry on the same frame when we're touching the ground, that allows Sean to be able to build a bunch of height. And then if you separate an upward sword slash in the air and then oh, come on. Is it, wait, what is it for? I think it's Sentry into up slash. Yeah, I think that's the ordering. Exactly 3/60ths of a second apart, then we also can end up building a bunch of verticality. The good news for Sean is that he already has light grenade, he already has double jump with jump grades and like a bunch of extra double jumps. And we find another jump grade, of course.
I'm sorry. That is just jump around. That's all I keep thinking in my head now.
Here's another map. It's going to tell us how many things are in Wellspring. There still is one more skill in Wellspring. Wellspring is one of the longer areas to be able to progress through without the waypoint. That is one of the best teleporter pickups to find in the randomizer itself, is the waypoint for a few reasons that we may talk about later, especially if Sean has to do the escape. But the waypoint for Wellspring is like right at the end of the dungeon. The good news for Sean is that he has grapple, he has bash, he has all these additional double jumps with the additional height from the bonus items. So Wellspring is very easy and very fast to go through. But here's just another quest to get us another pickup for Sean, and it is an energy fragment, increasing his maximum energy there in the bottom of the screen.
Yeah, I'm starting to make a little bit of progress on like a trading sequence quest chain.
Oh yeah.
Just so I don't have to do the whole thing later. potentially, if the bingo board makes me.
Oh, that's fair, because it could be a bingo card.
Yeah, so that quest in particular is something known as hand to hand. And basically, there are a bunch of NPCs all around the map that you have to talk to in a specific order in order to be able to progress the quest line itself. So if Sean's tried to sequence break the quests, it wouldn't work because he needs to talk to the NPCs in a specific order. Okay, here's a quick little combat arena. Just have to clear out the enemies in order to be able to progress through. But one interesting thing that is actually in the base game as well is you're going to notice that in the next room, there's a sort of a turning puzzle that you're supposed to do in order to be able to get through the room. But just acquiring clean water as a pickup, which Sean currently does have, pretty much allows us to sequence break that puzzle, making it much faster. And this is actually in the base game itself. The devs added this into the base game. But Sean also just has like a million jumps, so you can just jump through anyway and progress through. Still leaving one pickup behind, but that pickup is a little bit cumbersome to be able to get to and takes a while to do. Yeah,
what's interesting about Wellspring is that in like the normal gameplay, you have these different levels of trying to open up. Basically, you're kind of cleansing the whole area in itself. So that's what we're trying to do essentially, is we're trying to get to the last level, and a lot of the like dense pickety like pickups, it's actually in the like third room. There's a lot going through these 3 levels too. Ooh, there's another good find.
That was really lucky.
Yeah,
that's massive. Yeah, that is actually really massive for the seed itself. So now with Bo, we can actually finish out our first tile, which is Drain Qualix Hollow, in order to open up more of the bingo board, just to see what we actually have to do next. And so this is the thing with Discovery Bingo, is that after you unlock the first few squares, then the board really opens up and you can see exactly what you have to do. Interesting thing is you can still progress in the squares even if you can't see them. But just like this early in the seed, right, is going to be very nice to have that. So here, yep, Sean's just going to dip out. He's going to go down in Wellspring. We've found all the skills in Wellspring, and we know there aren't any teleporters in here, so we're just not going to end up finding anything else that's going to really effectively guarantee that we speed up the seed from collecting pickups. So here, coming through this water section, we are going to be able to either progress into Luma pools or to the very starting area of the game itself. So, like, I literally can't stress enough, finding Bo here is just absolutely massive. It was one of the few skills remaining in the randomizer that could potentially hard lock pickups. There really is only one other skill, which technically is not a hard lock because there is another way, but Glide is the last skill that could really hard lock the seed itself.
Oh, and now I have an extra air dash.
Very nice. Allows us to dash one more time in the air before either touching the ground or hitting an enemy with a weapon, which also refreshes dash normally. But that being said, we had a question in the chat: how is Sean jumping so high? So in the randomizer itself, we've modded in an additional kit of bonus items themselves. And so Sean has 2. The first one he has is extra double jump, which effectively works the same as finding the triple jump shard and equipping it, which Sean also does have. And then also Sean has another bonus item, which is jump grades, which basically upgrades Sean's jump. So every time he presses that jump button, it will actually end up sending him higher. And so he collectively has multiple of these, both the extra double jumps as well as the jump grades. We also have Light Grenade, as we see here, to be able to do grenade floats, which basically jumping and pressing grenade at the same time is going to allow us to effectively store our momentum. So if we're moving upwards and then we store that momentum, we will just continue going up with having gravity having a reduced effect on Ori as long as we're holding down that grenade
attack. Weird trick right here. So I'm skipping this puzzle by dying, and it like moves my hitbox in such a way that it triggers the completion of that puzzle. And then I die again, and it moves me to that teleporter.
Yep, that's like an
Nice.
interesting save point. I did see a few people. Any tips for a new streamer? So anyone who's interested in getting into the randomizer bingo, what would be any guidance or tips for the person to start playing?
Yeah, great question. The good news, especially with Ori, is that there's a lot of love for the randomizers, especially, and so all of this is literally done by people within the randomizer community itself, like in the speedrunning community. So the first thing to do is go to speedrun.com/Ori_DE, and then there is a link there that will bring you to our Discord. You can also go to OriRando.com as well as WOTW.OriRando.com, which will bring you to the randomizer pages itself. But in terms of like really doing your first randomizer at Seed itself, there's so many approachability and accessibility options outside of just talking to the wonderful people within the randomizer community itself. The first one is that there is a map. Sean, I don't know if you want to just show this off really quickly, the logic filter. So if we open up the map, and we go to the in logic filter, this will show you every single pickup on the map that the game expects you to be capable of getting access to, which is a randomizer modded thing that is not in the base game itself, which is very, very cool. So in the randomizer, you get all these different skill sets and like starts and stuff, so you don't necessarily know where to go next to be able to track down that next skill. However, with this logic map, it just really, really helps, especially starting players as well as veterans, to be able to just work through the seeds and find out where to go next. But that being said, also just sort of other sort of base things, especially in Will-o'-the-Wisp randomizer in particular, buy maps from Lupo in the respective areas, because that will actually give you a hint as to how many skills and teleporters are in the area. But here's a shop. So Sean's just going through to see if there's anything important. There is a Gorlek ore, but besides that, everything else is just a resource. But we also know that the Gorlek ores are most likely not going to be gating something in the seed itself. But yeah, so Sean's going to come back over to Grove from the opposite side because we have Bo, and so this is awesome because this is actually going to be our first tile in the bingo board itself. So if you're just joining us, Sean is doing a Will-o'-the-Wisp randomizer speedrun, and the constraint to make it more interesting is he is doing Discovery Blackout Bingo. So Discovery, just basically you start with 2 squares that you can see on the bingo board itself, and then after you complete those squares, they will end up unlocking adjacent squares. So there on the left, we have Drain Qualix Hollow, and then over on the right, we have Spend 4,857 Spirit Light, which can be done at shops and as well as vendors around the map. So there, just doing a quick quest, and we see Sentry Efficiency is there if Sean wants it, but there's also energy fragments as well as keystones. So no important skill on a shop. This is not too surprising because we started in wastes, but also Sean just already has so many core essential skills for opening up the map itself.
Yeah, and
I apologize. Yeah, sorry, go on, Sean.
And also, I kind of want to save money because there's some important hints that I can buy later, but they are very expensive.
Yeah, indeed. So in Glades in particular, there is going to be a Lupo vendor in there, and they will have a hint to be able to track down the hardlock, a number of the hardlock skills, which is incredibly expensive. The good news for Sean is that he already has Burrow, and so the price of that hint actually goes down the number of skills that you actually end up having. But that is the one thing you need Bo for, to be able to drain Qualix Hollow completely. It's that one eye on the frog that you have to shoot in order to get this block down here. So just having Bo and being able to do that is very nice. And we are about to open up the bingo board a little bit more.
I'm super curious what we're going to get revealed to us.
All right. Wow.
Ooh.
Some nice stuff. Okay.
This is good stuff.
Yeah, so now we have 3 new squares that are up. Ring the Bells Backward, which is going to be in a optional area within the game, which we will we have everything we need to be able to get access to. And you need Bash to be able to do that square, and we already do have Bash, which is great. That's very nice. Then we have Find Underwater Pickups, which Sean has already done 4 underwater pickups so far, and there's going to be another one in this area that Sean can do. And then get these trees. So go to the trees on the map and activate them. Water Dash, Sword, and Burrow. We started in Wastes with Burrow, and we were able to get that Burrow tree already. So all Sean has to do is go back to Luma Pools for the Water Dash tree, if he has the 4 keystones to be able to do it. And then also go to the Sword tree, which is normally the first tree that you get within a normal playthrough of the game.
Ooh. I started to go a certain way, but then I realized, wait, I need Water Dash to go that way.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna go for the swim tree.
Word.
Just get that out of the way.
Yeah, that's a good choice. So here, yeah, the door's closed. Yeah. So Sean's gonna quit the menu really quick, and I believe this will open the door back up. I think it's something like taking a death or something, or I don't remember exactly, but this arena in particular is a little bit off, where if we just quit the menu here, then the door is actually just now going to be open magically without having to do the arena at all.
Rue, do you want to link the game one more time? So we actually have a website that you can visit if you want to have a easier time reading the bingo board.
Yep. Something to note about that really quickly. So if after going to the link, just click spectate and then look at bingo board or whatever that button is that's called. And so as Sean's buying Luma Pools map here, we'll see if there's anything important in Luma.
You know what? I'm going to skip it.
Okay, yep, sounds good.
Yeah, I want to save money for some big hints.
Yeah. So the big hints one is like over 3,000 Spirit Light at this point, I believe. But that being said, so Sean's just opting to not check out what's in Luma Pools. And the main reason for this is that Sean just has so many things he can do around the map. He really doesn't need the map hints in order to be able to get access to the bingo hints. So like every single thing that's on the bingo board right now, Sean could do, right? Like pretty effectively. The only one he can't do right now is the 4,857 Spirit Light. But just really quickly to mention, if you do end up using that link to the bingo board itself, you will not see the partial progress of the board, but you will see as Sean ends up finishing and closing out the squares on the board. Just as a heads up. Show board, okay. But yeah, there we go. Spending the 4 keystones so that we only have 1 remaining is going to get us access to the Water Dash tree and make progress onto that get these trees bingo square. So the only tree that Sean has left to do before he's going to open up 2 additional tiles on the map is to activate the sword tree, which is going to be very fast for him to get access to. Ooh, Life Force, very nice.
To be honest with you, oh, sorry. I was looking forward to the Ring the Bells backwards. That one's like my favorite.
It's good, yeah.
Yeah, when we get to that, we will show you as to why it is. It's just a neat little thing to find out.
Yeah, it's a cool puzzle in the base game itself. I actually didn't figure out the puzzle myself. I had completely missed the area in my casual playthrough until I decided to do the doing a 100% playthrough of the game.
I think I'm trying to remember my first playthrough. I remember I stayed up all night. That's what I did do, and yeah. I did beat it because I had to. But yeah, like this game came out, and I had to get my hands on it ASAP because we all love Ori and the Blind Forest. So yeah, it's definitely one of those games that we were anticipating.
Yeah, the Ori and the Blind Forest speedrunning community is just absolutely incredible. Just everybody is so welcoming and so nice and amazing. I truly do love the community a lot, and there's a reason why I keep coming back to these games especially, and it's definitely in large part to that community. So if you're interested in either trying out the randomizer or trying out the speedrun of this game, it is highly suggested. We have a ton of resources. We have a very active community, both in Blind Forest and Will-o-the-Wisps, as well as the respective randomizer communities as well. And we put on a lot of events, we put on tournaments, we put on show matches, we put on a lot of incredible content. So I cannot suggest enough if you're looking for a welcoming and awesome community to check out these games. Cool. Okay, so Sean's just doing a bit of cleanup in glades. I do like this play quite a bit, just simply because there are still pickups in here, and we do know that there is a skill in this area. I believe that we haven't tracked down yet. So here, Sean just setting up for another wave dash, but just opting to dash through instead. Very nicely done. And another extra air dash as a bonus item. Allow us to dash in the air an additional time.
So my goal here is to just get some money so I can buy some expensive hints.
Expensive hints?
Or expensive hints.
Hints. Oh, okay. I heard hints. I'm like, hints? Where did hints come? Oh, hints make sense. Plus, you know, we could get, you know, we could spend our money too. I like spending money.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess like the two skills that could really lock down Sean at this point, there's only two. There's Flap, which has some hard locked pickups associated with it. So the only way to check those pickups is with Flap, and then Glide, which would open up Moldwood Depths. Glide would do that. But the good news for Moldwood Depths, as well as Bower's Reach, which Flap and Glide open up respectively, is that we can end up finding the teleporters to also get access to those areas. And because we have Bow, because we have Light Grenades, then we can get through those areas much more easily than you may sort of anticipate from a normal playthrough of the game. Yeah, nice cleanup from Sean so far, 2,178 Spirit Light, so we're getting there. We're getting towards that hint, and so we'll see where Sean opts to go to next. But just some nice, good clearing of the board itself, and then breaking these canisters just because they have a fixed amount of Spirit Light in them as well, respectively.
Check how much this is going to cost. Yeah, 3,000. So another thing I would really like to find is Swim Dash, because it would give me like backdoor access to a very early game area. Yeah, Water Dash would be lovely to have.
Yeah, I think you can still get access to it if you did want to take that path, because you do have Burrow.
I need to break this barrier from the wrong side. Let me see.
You can get through from the left of the waypoint if you go through Wellspring.
I need Swim Dash to get through a spot there.
Oh, okay. I see.
Yeah, because there's that strong water current. There's a lot of pickups in Wellspring that I picked. That might be a decent source of money.
Always like to spend money? Question mark? No, I'm kind of curious what the board is going to reveal once we spend the Spirit Light. So Spirit Light is essentially money in this game. But I like to say money because of Kingdom Hearts, I think.
I think the funny thing too is like, if Sean does like drop that 3,000 Spirit Light for that hint, we're still like a good 1,000 plus Spirit Light spending away. Like, so we really do have to spend quite a lot of Spirit Light to be able to get access to those tiles on the right.
Yeah. That's a hefty amount. I'm trying to think of where I would spend it, other than like just trying to map like hints or getting abilities with certain people at certain points.
The good news for Sean is that there is something known as the Black Market Keystones, which is an infinite supply of keystones. And basically, after you purchase a keystone from it, it will increase the cost of purchasing the next one, and so on and so forth. Excuse me. So that is a way to just dump a whole bunch of Spirit Light if we have like no other options. But there's some nice resources and stuff otherwise. But right now, yeah, Sean's just like literally looking around to just try and figure out where he can make progress on the map and potentially track down the next skill. And so is going to opt to go to Willow's End. This is a pretty good call. I mean, we could do all of Willow's End right now if we wanted to. But also, this is very, 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 very much expected to not really be accessible until we have Launch, which is the most powerful skill in the entire game, besides maybe something like Sentry or like Grenade itself. Like Grenade truly is really, really incredible as a skill.
Although it looks like we're just navigating this like, it looks really nice. It's very clean. Because this is very hard without. So there's a skill called launch, and without launch, this area is like tethered to it basically. And without it, then it just makes it a little bit harder to navigate. It's not impossible, it's just harder to navigate it. But in this whole dungeon area, which is the last dungeon, we have to get these hearts. And we have to release all the hearts. But in Willows, we did get the TP very early, so I get the logic here in terms of just trying to go here, see if there's something important that we're missing, maybe open it a little bit more, because as we get to the teleporter, we could just teleport here and then get to the end of the game faster. So it's not a bad idea just to even open up the map more, as well as simultaneously look for some pickups that you think are important or essential.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, go on, Sean, please.
Yeah, and so because my goal is to not just the discovery bingo, but also to defeat Shrink, I'm going to have to do this section of the game eventually anyway. And so I might as well use this as my place to farm money.
Yeah, so something we haven't explained yet is the way that Spirit Light is randomized for the randomizer itself is that the later in logic the pickup is, so the more skills you need, the more sort of progression in the seed you need to have done, the higher the range that the Spirit Light can randomize as. So an early Spirit Light pickup, it can only be, I don't know the exact numbers. Yeah, but there, right? 388 Spirit Light is a lot. That is a massive amount of Spirit Light for a pickup to be. But earlier pickups in logic, you're never going to find 388. Right, we're going to end up finding values around the 40, 30, 50, 60 amount for the Spirit Light itself. So going to Willow's End, doing some stuff as well as to make progression through the speed run. But also these pickups that are late in logic are going to have the potential to be very, very high amounts of Spirit Light.
I'm very disappointed that was just a storage slot. I was hoping for big money off that pickup, but no. I'm just going to do this the intended way since I'm here. So anyway.
Yeah, with all these jump grades and stuff.
We are, I want to find a good pun for jumping other than singing Jump Around.
Yeah, so here's another corrupted heart. There are there's more than 6 corrupted hearts, I believe.
8.
8, thank you.
Or 7 and a mini boss, I guess.
Yeah, same diff. So there, just breaking the heart is in order to be able to get access to the final boss of the run, which we won't end up fighting right now. But we would just do this right now anyway, because it is progress towards the boss. But yeah, so something interesting about Willow's End as well is that there's really not many pickups in it, which I guess makes sense because it is an endgame dungeon as Sean works through this area. Nicely done, just going through the laser, easy peasy. So there really aren't many pickups in here. Yeah, nicely done.
Oh,
but yeah,
nice.
Look at that. 386. And so this is a great play in particular, right? Because if you think about it, right, if Sean just ends up going to a mid-game section and getting 4 pickups that are roughly around 100 Spirit Light, well, instead, he just comes to this late game area, very quickly goes out of his way from the primary objective within Willow's End, and then just gets a single pickup that's worth almost 400 Spirit Light, right? So 1 pickup that's 400 Spirit Light, or getting 4 pickups that are worth 100 Spirit Light, right? So very nice play from Sean. So even though there's very low density of pickups within Willow's End itself, still just getting those 2 pickups that are roughly 350 plus Spirit Light was a very, very nice thing to do. And here now with over 3,000 Spirit Light, we can spend all of that to be able to find out where Water Dash is. And it is in Hollow. Okay.
Ooh, interesting. Yeah, the other thing I liked about Sean's routing, I really enjoyed too, is even though we had the TP super early, maybe there was an important pickup, but even if there wasn't, we did get a lot of Willow's End done and covered, and that is now just something on the checklist of routing that you're okay, well, I got this done and I also got money, so now we also look for any important pickups, and now we kind of have that peace of mind done. And that's the reason why I know it's not a very heavily dense area with pickups, but I do agree with the play.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, we have to do it anyway, right? So may as well use that higher amount of Spirit Light on the pickups itself to be able to make some bank and then also continue through. Nice wave dash there. That's definitely one of my favorite wave dashes in the speedrun. And here's an underwater pickup. So just once again, Sean on the bingo board directly under his webcam in the bottom left of your screen. We have a bingo board here, which is blackout. So basically, as we finish tiles, that's going to reveal more things that we must do in order to be able to finish out the seed itself. So we started off with Drain Qualix Hollow as well as Spend Spirit Light, which we are starting to get very close to for the Spend Spirit Light. But we opted to Drain Qualix Hollow first, and there's Water Dash. Nice find, Sean. Which is going to allow us to get access to the starting area of the game as well as the sword tree itself. But yeah, just going over the tiles that we are currently working on. Roll the Snowball and Bower's Reach. We have Ring the Bells, which is going to be an area. And then we have Get to These Trees, which the last one Sean needs to do is get to the sword tree. And then we have Spend Spirit Light, which we have 1,357 left to go.
I'm wondering what's going to get first now. I'm thinking the tree, maybe.
Clean up this section, just in case because I really don't want to have to revisit this.
That's totally fair. I know for me, I like seeing the reveal. So we do have more on the card that have been revealed. The Roll the Snowball in Reach. So what does that mean? Just kind of curious. I know where it is, but what exactly do we have to do?
So basically, when you enter Bower's Reach, there's a few puzzles. First, it expects you to basically play around with the mechanic of turning it between winter and summer in order to get to Light Grenade Tree itself. Then after you have Light Grenade, or as speedrunners, we can utilize other skills such as Sentry. Then basically there's going to be a progression to get towards the end of the area, which is Bower's Reach Escape sequence, where you have to end up melting some ice in order to lower a tree branch. And this giant snow boulder will end up rolling down and opening up more of the area. So we just have to do that. We just have to do that normal thing. Something we haven't mentioned is like right above Ori is going to be a little sort of half circle bar that you saw depleting, and that is the breath meter. And so if you end up running out of air underwater, it's not like Blind Force where you start taking damage. It just instantly voids you out. You just die instantaneously, so which can be really punishing. But nicely done from Sean to be able to work through that area without having that happen.
Now I think we're going to the bells.
Did I?
Is bells going to happen?
Yeah, I should do that.
I'm sorry. I love the bells, so I'm like all about. I want my bells.
Yeah. So this is Yeah, go on, Sean.
Oh, excuse me. I've had a lot of practice seeds where I had to do the combat arena back there, and so I'm just went to that out of habit, honestly. But I might not have it to do it, so I'm just gonna skip it.
Yeah. So here's a secret area. You'll notice those stone pillars in the background, and so. Basically, the length of the stone is the size of the bell. So just doing these in the order in reverse that they show up will end up opening up a new square. And so we have buy maps 3 of 4. That's good. We're really close to a map. And then melt ice berries 0 out of 2, which is very, very good. But we still don't have access to Bower's Reach because we don't have Flap, nor do we have the teleporter itself. But yeah, so doing this puzzle forward will open up Midnight Burrows, which is a optional secret area in the game itself. And then doing it backwards ends up revealing a tree, which you usually would have Ancestral Light, which increases your damage by, I believe, 25% in the base game itself. But because this is a randomizer, that may not be true. But here we go, 50 Spirit Light for another map.
Ooh.
And wow, we really opened that board.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, okay. So this is exactly what I was talking about early on, right? Like, so even if we don't end up being able to see tiles on the map, we still can make progress on themselves. So new tiles that came in, like the passage behind the Keystone door in Depths, I am not entirely familiar with that one, but that's okay. We have kill enemies with bow. So we do have the bow. That's great. We have to kill 7 enemies with that. Open keystone doors, 5 of 7. So only 2 more key doors need to be opened for that. And then we have complete either spirit trial, Wallach's Hollow or Luma Pools. Both are good options. Luma Pools is going to be pretty easy because we have Water Dash. It's one of the, it can be a bit of a lengthy one. And then Qualix Hollow is a very nice trial because it doesn't expect you really to have much when you go and do that trial. Okay, so Sean is actually coming over to the right here in this optional area. Midnight Burrows being a little bit low in health. Oh no. It's all good. It's all good. That's one nice thing about this game is the checkpoint system is really, really nice. But yeah, that being said, coming to the right side of Midnight Burrows, and this actually has access to Double Jump Tree. Double Jump Tree in the normal game is literally right here if you just break that one wall, as we saw Sean do. And so there we go. We have now activated Double Jump Tree. Woo.
I just love seeing the bingo board to be revealed. And like the other thing that's fun to see too is like what has been completed while you were, you know, navigating the universe.
Yeah, word. So here, Sean is now in this early area, Inkwater Marsh. Inkwater Marsh is like actually one of the larger areas in the game that's like very, very spaced out. And so it's like, it's never an area that you want to see like a hint of that there is a single skill in this area. But yeah, very early game. So the enemies end up having very low health. So Sean just making quick work of that enemy with the bow because in the bottom right-hand corner of the bingo board is going to be the tile that says kill enemies with bow. So very smart routing from Sean here. I really like this play, Sean.
Yeah, pulling that lever actually gave me a second to read the bingo board.
Yeah. Yeah, so right now the easiest tiles probably to do is get to these trees, the sword tree, which is going to be coming up. Kill enemies with bow because we're in an early game area. Opening keystone doors, because we only need to do 2 more of those. Spending Spirit Light also because we actually do have enough Spirit Light to be able to close out that tile. And then killing enemies is going to be a bit of a lengthier one. But we only have 14 more enemies on that one to do. Melt Ice Barriers, however, we can't quite do because we don't have access to Bowers yet. And then Light the Passage behind Keystone Doors and Depths, we can't do because we don't have Glide. The good news, though, is similar to that hint, that 3,000 Spirit Light hint that we saw Sean purchase in Glades. There is also a hint if we end up doing the Escape in Wellspring, I believe. That is going to allow us to purchase a hint to be able to track down and find exactly which biome ends up having Glide. Yeah, here we go. There's a 2 keystone door there, which is great. And Qualix Hollow TP. That is oftentimes a very, very nice pickup to find in the randomizer itself. But for us, I believe we already have that teleporter, so it's not going to be too important for Sean. Oh boy, skill velocity times 3. That's going to increase the speed that we end up zooming ourselves with Bash, especially. And then if we end up finding Launch, that is also going to be very, very massive.
Some of these upgrades make it so easy to just launch myself into spikes.
Yeah.
So that honestly makes me glad that I already got a few pre-parts done in Willow's End earlier on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. I definitely am, like, I know for me, I definitely want to hear Covert's thought when it comes to routing, but the routing, I think it was really smart to do it at that point in time. Plus, you got the money, the spirits that you needed. On top of like...
definitely a solid play.
Yeah.
So here, just another wave dash, but we have to talk to the Smokey for the quest, so we're going to wave dash for a small little portion of time and then get through to it. But new square that opened up from killing the enemies with bow is going to be spin the wheel outside of pools, which is good. I mean, we have the pools waypoint already, so that's going to be a really quick one to do, especially with Water Dash itself. But here is Regenerate Tree, where you get Regenerate in the base game itself. But there it is just 124 Pokey, which is Spirit Light. And so if you see those funky names, that's it. There we go. We just opened up our 7th key door. So a new tile has opened up, which is no new tile ended up opening up because we ended up already revealing that one from killing the enemies with bow.
Oh, that's right. The spin the wheel outside pools.
Oh.
Yes, correct. Yep, indeed. And so something else to mention here is that launch, as we mentioned, is the most powerful skill in the randomizer itself. And we actually have a really cute flag that's associated with it here. So after we actually finish our first 3 lines on the bingo board, so just imagine taking a line of 5 tiles long in either diagonal or vertical or horizontal, then that is considered a line. And once we do 3 of those, we'll end up getting launch itself for the rest of the seed. So we absolutely are guaranteed to get launch the seed, and we're actually getting pretty close. The only problem here is just that like Moldwood Depths one in the bottom left-hand corner, the light the passages behind the keystone door and depths. But we can do Wellspring Escape and then potentially do that bottom left tile once we find it out. And indeed, yeah, we see Sean just immediately going to the Wellspring Teleporter, which is going to bring him directly to the escape.
I don't know what it is about this escape, but I get so like, I don't know, it hits my emotional like response because it just has that beautiful Ori music that is with it once you hear.
Yeah. It is so soggy indeed.
Yes. Yes.
So we have a question, what's complete Wellspring Escape? It's this. So in the game, there are these sort of chase sections in the game where small cutscene plays and then you're running away from instant death. So Sean is just going to be moving to the right. And so these are known as the escape sequences. And this one is going to be the Wellspring Escape, which is going to be just absolutely done incredibly quickly, especially with all these skill velocities, all of these jump upgrades, all of these additional air dashes. Just, just watch.
So these skill velocities are actually a relatively new feature to the randomizer. And so I'm actually not super used to how far my dashes move me. And so you might see me like faceplant into some spikes later.
Good. Bad. Just all these jump grades. And there it is. Ooh. We have finished that and we have gotten launch. So I guess after finishing 2 lines then ends up getting us launch. So very, very nicely done. And the tile that ended up getting revealed is complete either quest, and a diamond in the rough. We saw that Sean had already done that quest, so that tile is now done. Great, nicely done.
And this leaves me pretty close to spin the wheel outside pools.
Indeed. Another nice thing here is that we can end up also tracking down the biome locations for Flap and Glide now in particular, because we have completed the escape sequence. So doing that one escape is just something modded into the randomizer. So soggy, there it is. I love it. But yeah, so being able to buy the hint for Glide and Flap is very, very nice. But first, we are going to do the spin the wheel outside of pools, which is a tile in the bottom right-hand corner of the bingo board.
I definitely have to say that I love seeing all the jumping and like the floatiness. I don't know what it is about jump or double jumping, even like in Blind Forest. That's like when we get all the extra jumps, it's just the movement just feels so natural to me. And so just watching
it is so nice.
Yeah,
it's true. That is something about these games is that they just feel really, really good to move through, even if you are just even if you're not a speedrunner, right? Like we have a lot of really cool speedrun tech around it, but then just being able to play the game normally is also just such a pleasure indeed. But there we go. We spun the wheel and we revealed the new tile, which is complete 11 quests. Yeah.
Oh no, I'm so sorry. I shouldn't laugh that hard. Oh, so I know what that means. Yeah.
That's likely to be the slowest bingo square on the board.
Yeah. Yeah, like even probably tracking down Glide would be faster to do. Oh no, yeah, the door is closed again. Because of Water Dash, I believe.
Why dare you? Door appear randomly out of nowhere, then reappear, and then disappear. Watch, it's gonna disappear. Watch the ta-da moment. Ta-da! Oh, wait. Premature
I'm just
ta-da.
gonna take this slowly because I don't think it's gonna let me through.
Yeah, because
you
of
might
water dash.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yes, so once you acquire water dash in the normal game, oh my god, you're shooting them into the spikes. That's so funny. Yeah, so with water dash here, now there's a new arena that ends up spawning in. This is in the base game itself as well. And so we just have to kill off 3 waves of enemies here to be able to progress through. And now this one's probably the most annoying because the arena fully fills with water. And then we're expected to utilize water dash and or bash to be able to kill off the enemies. And Sean, it's going to be very important for Sean to just make sure his breath meter doesn't end up depleting fully.
Oh, they destroyed a bubble.
Oh, no.
You got it.
Oh, you got it. You got it. We got this. You're breathing.
Yep. Yeah, so those air bubbles there in the center of the arena can just fully replenish the oxygen meter for the underwater breathing. There we go.
Nice.
Down. One more to go.
Oh, come on, go into the spikes, please. Okay, I'm just gonna go to swim dash.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's the smart thing to do.
Yeah.
All right, and there we go. And now that all those enemies are done, this ceiling is going to open up, and Sean's just going to grab it. And it is the most important skill in the game, Blaze.
Oh, gosh.
It's not. Blaze is a meme in the community.
Yeah, Blaze is... If you want to explain that, I know a little bit of the history of Blaze, but I think it's gone further.
Yeah, it's just it's a skill where when you get it, you're like, oh man, I get to set everything around me on fire. Wow, this is amazing. But like, it does very little damage, and then it has like a damage over time effect that you can just outpace from general attacks anyways. Like, it's like grenade except bad, basically. But no, it's so there's like certain randomizer modes as well for especially ones that you don't spawn with sword, where you can get your first attack ends up just being Blaze, which can be brutal for the randomizer. All right, but with that, yeah, go on, Sean.
So since I need to complete 11 quests, I'm going to do Quolok because he actually unlocks 2 quests.
Ooh.
One for getting the wisp that's required for the main story, and another side quest is gated behind beating this boss.
So we get to see some boss action.
Yeah, and I think I've got a decent amount of upgrades that make my light burst, grenade ability decently strong.
Yeah, indeed. So definitely having, I believe it's Splinter as the shard is just absolutely amazing. Yeah, so that's what causing Grenade to split into 3 after it comes out. But here, just waiting for the boss to be targetable, and then is going to use all those sword velocity attack upgrades as well to be able to just absolutely shred Quolok here.
Yeah.
And we are already halfway through the fight.
Oh man, this part of the storyline made me cry too. I'm all soggy everywhere.
I cried so hard, yeah.
Because I love... Yeah.
Yeah, Quolok.
No.
That is like one thing about these games, that they are definitely emotional roller coasters and tear jerkers.
Yes.
And there we go. There's Quolok. Nicely done, Sean.
Oh, thank you.
So in just a few
yeah,
minutes, we will have to take a break. It's just a nice little 5-minute break. So whenever you are ready to take that break, we will just have to do like a nice little stretch, go get some water, maybe some tea if you like tea. Go get like a little comfy, cozy blanket to snuggle up with.
We actually have an unskippable cutscene right now, so this is a perfect time for a break.
Okay, awesome. So we'll go into a break, and we will be back with some more Ori and the Will of the Wisp Blackout Discovery Bingo. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Legally Cute. We are on our Ori and the Will of the Wisp Blackout Discovery Bingo. In the meantime, just a few announcements before we get on going with our next part. We just had a nice spicy boss battle, but the frog didn't go. What happened to the frog? Who knows? We'll come back to that right now. Just a few things before we do. Fran Patel's will be having its next all-women speedrunning event, Flame Patel's, from August 21st to the 27th. The marathon schedule is now out. For anyone interested, type in the command FF in chat, or you could always go to gamesdonequit.com for Patel's for more info. Prize submissions are now open. Check the site for more information. And yours truly might be doing some unpacking speedruns, just saying. Anywho, another one we're going to do is a one and done-a-thon is coming up again, where you show off your favorite run, and that's your only appearance in the one and done-a-thon series. The schedule has been released, so check out Games on Quick Twitter to see the lineup of the games. And then just last but not least, I definitely want to say tune in on Sunday, where your very own producer Ray, will be speedrunning Chrono Cross Radical Dreamers Edition on Tina's RPG show, I guess, starting at 1 p.m. Eastern. Definitely tune in for that show. I really, really, really yes. That's all I gotta say. Anywho, as we get back to our speedrun at hand, we have just, I don't know what this boss battle happened. I didn't see the frog go, so I think we are ready to just go to the sunset that I see in the horizon. We are here with Shaunovan and Covert Muffin, and we are doing Ori Will of the Wisp, and we are bringing you some more Blackout Discovery Bingo. And the count, whenever you're ready, just let me know, and I will do the countdown.
Yep, ready. It's ready to go.
Awesome. All right, so 3, 2, 1. Go. Look at that sunset.
Right. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Just like this entire game. It's so gorgeous.
Yes.
Love it so much.
Yes.
So Sean is coming back to Glades, and this is because we have a tile that says Spin Spirit Light, and so Sean is just going to end up buying a bunch of stuff. So nicely done, and that finished out that tile. So we only have 4 more tiles left to go. 3 of them, we can't quite do yet. We have the Roll of the Snowball and Reach, and we don't have access to Bower's Reach quite yet. We have Melt Ice Barriers, which is in Bower's Reach as well. For 2 of those, we have Light the Passage behind the Keystone Door in Depths, which we will require Glide, or we will require Bower's Reach Teleporter. And then 4th, but certainly not least, we have Complete 11 Quests, which definitely is the longest tile on this board, right, Sean?
Oh, for sure. And I just spent some Spirit Light here to allow me to unlock a side quest that'll help with that goal.
Nice.
Just need to fetch this glowing acorn that this adorable little Moki lost.
I love the Mokis. They're adorable. They are just like, I don't know. They are just the way that they interact too, and their sounds too. Just listen to those sound effects. They're so cute.
They are so adorable. So good news as well is that we do have the capability of being able to get the hints as to where Flap and Glide is. And so you see Flap is in Marsh and Glide is in Glades. Oh, that could be bad.
Yep.
That could actually be real. We were talking during the break and being like, yeah, this is like going to be under 2 hours. Like it's a pretty fast seed, but yeah, just wow. Oh,
did I not talk to that Moki? I didn't.
Yeah,
a little mistake there,
is.
But I can quick go back. I need to get into this hut to complete a quest, but I have to get the key first. So this will just be a second.
Word. But yeah, so Glades can be in particular troublesome. Oh, excuse me. Just had to sneeze really quick. All right. So Glades can be really troublesome in particular because there is this one type of resource known as a Gorlek ore. And so in order to be able to get every single pickup within Glades, we need to find a massive amount of Gorlek ore. I forget the exact number for the total that is required to be able to finish out. But basically, we can spend these gore-like ores in order to unlock certain pickups by rebuilding the various things within Glades itself. And so this can be really lengthy because there is no sort of clue system as to be able to track down gore-like ore. It's just like pretty much a random pickup on the map, unless there is something gated by finishing out building Glades, in which case it'll dump a bunch of gore-like ore in the early and mid game. The problem for Sean is that this seed opened up so fast in logic that like the pickups on the map really opened up. And that is all just simply because we had Burrow at the start of the seed and we found clean water incredibly early in the seed. So it could be a while before we actually end up being able to track down Glide, potentially. But there, we're getting pretty fortunate here, finding even more gore-like ore. Very nice to see those. We're definitely going to want to find a massive number of those. And I think there were like a couple in the shops themselves that were just sort of randomly added in. But here, Sean's just talking to this bird dude in order to be able to finish out the quest, and is a wellspring teleporter, which is one of the best teleporters to find in the game itself. But also Sean is just checking a ton of pickups in this Inkwater Marsh area because we know Flap has to be here, and Flap is going to open up Bower's Reach, which allows us to do 2 of the 4 remaining bingo squares.
This is actually kind of interesting. I'm wondering what the next move will be. I mean, other than just getting the ores, but we were like, oh yeah, this is gonna be good. The complete quest. Okay, that's a little bit, but now finding out that Glide is with Glades, rebuilding Glades and having the complete quest could go hand in hand, but at the same time, you know, those two are unpredictable. So, you know, trying to find as many ore as we can is just basically the best strategy, and trying to go to like the biggest areas with all the dense pickups, I think is going to be the strategy right now.
Yeah, for sure. Like coming over to Inkwater Marsh is like a very smart play here from Sean, because we just find more ores, but then also we know that Flap is here anyway, so may as well dig in the area where we know a bit of forced progression could potentially be, and then also just, I mean, may as well like do it anyway because we have the chance to find ores. So very nice from Sean to be checking in this area, and we will end up finding out where Flap is going to be. But there we go. There's the Inkwater Marsh waypoint, so we have a better fast travel location, which we probably won't end up using for the rest of the seed, I imagine. But there still is a good number of pickups as Sean is able to track down another gore-like ore.
I probably don't need it, but I like to open up this branch or that tree limb just in case.
Just in case.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. I just love the like verticality.
What pickups? Just trying to remember what pickups I already got when I went through here. They definitely skipped this path.
Yeah, that's like one of the toughest things in speedrunning randomizers is like being able to compartmentalize all the information at hand, right? Like Sean has this bingo board of 25 cards that he needs to like try and keep track of and formulate a plan with how he's going to route through. What skills does he have? What skills does he not have that he needs, right? What squares can he actively make progress on? What squares can't he make progress on, right? Magnet's pretty nice. That is a very quality of life pickup. But also just like as we get into the late game of the seed, right? Sean has done many seeds, right? So like, and those can very easily blend together. It can be easy to just sort of get lost or just misjudge exactly what you can and cannot do in a given situation. A lot of information to keep track of and utilize in order to be able to speed run the randomizer on average to lower that average time.
And I do like this play here. So there's these shrines throughout the world, and in these shrines, it's just like these battle combat zones, essentially. It's a gauntlet of just these enemies. And this one is in the very beginning. So even though they are time consuming, they are just like this one in particular is good just because it's a fast one. It's an easier one compared to other ones that are in the land or in the other places. Like there is one in Silent Woods. And and that one's going to be harder to do because it is later progression. But this one that he did just now is was very quickly and done. But they do give you like an ability, or it is randomized, so you do have to do it.
Right, exactly. Yeah, there could just be a pickup there, but Sean's gonna come up because there's 2 pickups here that are gated by bow, so you need bow in order to be able to get access to them. He just didn't pick them up the first time he was in this area. But very nice find, just another gore-like ore. That is very, very nice to see. And whoops. There we go, nicely done. And another gore-like ore. Wow, 2 gore-like ore for his troubles. That is actually very, very nice. But yeah, we're like almost completely done digging through Inkwater Marsh. There's really only like a few lines of pickups that it could potentially be. So it's actually kind of nice for Sean here that he didn't find Flap immediately, because he ended up finding a lot of gore-like ore in this area. I think like maybe 4 or 5 so far. So just really a lot of value from Inkwater Marsh, the seed so far. But also, like, it came into logic pretty early on for this area to be opened up. So yeah, this is more and more looking like repairing glades might actually end up being the required play to be able to finish out the seed.
Also, we're able to kind of get some quests done too. That's another,
very nice.
Yeah, that's another thing I like about this too, being able to kind of do like 3 things at once. I mean, I think it's great. I love multitasking.
Yeah, Sean, I swear to goodness, I'm gonna laugh. There's Flash. Okay, that is useful in multiple depths, but not the F skill that we're looking for. We're looking for Flap. But Sean, I'm gonna laugh so hard, man, if it is on that arena.
Oh, what?
Just
pick up
Flap.
before the arena.
Glades. Okay, so I got everything I need here. Blind and Glades. No. Okay, Flap. So I need to go to Reach. Yeah.
Cool. Good plan. I like that. So we have 2 squares here. Roll the snowball and Reach, and then melt ice barriers. And those are both accomplishable by getting access to Reach. And then Flap allows us to be able to get access to that area. So very nice finds, very nice pickups for Sean. And he is just immediately going to beeline over to be able to close out 2 of the remaining 4 squares that must be done in order to finish out the seed.
So I have a question. This is one that I just cannot wrap my head around. There is a square that says, like the passage behind the key store door in. I still cannot. This is like a riddle to me at this point. I'm trying to figure out what that means. I don't want to know the answer quite yet, but
okay,
I do want to figure it out. So what's the passage behind the key store door in?
So there's like a couple of breakable objects that are like blocking the light, and so in the and you never do this in speedruns, and so that's why the speedrunners forget they exist. Because you destroy these 2 objects, and suddenly it reveals some light in a passageway in an area where you die if you're in the darkness too long.
Okay. Oh, okay. I know where we're at. Spider area. Got it.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That took me a minute.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, same here. I really forgot about that.
Just need to melt ice. Okay, so I need to melt ice and get the snowball. Yeah. How much ice? Just 1 more? Okay, so I can go down. Yeah.
Yeah, so here Sean is just trying to figure out exactly where he wants to go in Reach and like how to approach that. And so there's that 1 ice wall right there, which is very convenient for him to be able to melt. And then over here, we're just gonna head over to the snowball area. Normally you're supposed to have glides to be able to get through there, but we just have a million of these upgrades to just allow us to be able to go through. And then here is going to be the snowball itself. So there, just gonna melt that, drop the tree branch, and then there goes the snowball. And that bingo square is done. So now all that Sean has to do is be able to finish out 3 more quests, as well as get access to multiple depths by tracking down Glide as a pickup.
Honestly, this actually has been a pretty amazing bingo, like blackout bingo. I was kind of a little worried about the quest though, but I think we got the quest down.
Yeah,
totally.
I'm just not sure what the fastest way to do it, but since I'm here, I'm just going to do the escape, and that'll count as a quest.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, the escape's pretty fast. So here, just another combat arena. Sean has to end up taking out these enemies. And once again, after Sean finishes this arena out, it does expect him to have glide to be able to progress into the escape, which is at the top of Bower's Reach. So you normally just kind of lackadaisically just sort of floats up here. But without glide, Sean is going to have to utilize all of these extra double jumps and bonus pickups to be able to continue to progress up. And very, very nicely done. Getting through that section first try was definitely a lot harder than Sean made it look. So very expertly done.
Yes. I remember, what did I do before? I remember, oh, I'm not going to say it here, but there was one time where I didn't have a lot of skills and I did it. It was very hard though, and it took a long time. A lot of sentry jumps.
Yeah, it's tough. Yeah, indeed. All right, so here we are. We're at the Bower's Reach escape itself. So we just have short little cutscene. We have a wisp here. And a cool thing in the randomizer itself is every time you get a wisp, you still get that extra energy and health increase. So here we're going to get a wisp, and that gives us 1 full life cell as well as 1 full energy cell added on to our maximum, which is very, very nice. It definitely increases sort of the safety and consistency of working through the randomizer itself, which is cool. I'm a big fan of that.
That's what I love about like the randomizers in general. There has been a lot of development when it came to the randomizers and a lot of consideration. So definitely check out even just Ori and the Blind Forest randomizer. Like both of them are just so well developed, and the Ori community just really came together on that.
Indeed, yes. Yeah, for sure. I mean, you are in comms right now with somebody who's spent thousands of hours playing this game just simply because the randomizer exists. So I definitely can 100% agree with what Rue said. And on top of that, the communities are just so amazing. Everybody is so welcoming and so awesome to just be around, and still very active. Like, it's been like what, over half a decade, and everybody is still just incredibly active in the community. It's such a pleasure, such a delight. But there we go. We finished the escape. We have a cutscene here that we can watch. We can also skip this one if we want. Yeah, there we go. And then we have 2 more quests to complete, and then we have to get access to Moldwood Depths by tracking down Glide or Moldwood Depths teleporter.
Yeah, it's gonna stop by Luma Pools to advance a quest, and then we'll go back to Qualix Hollow to finish it.
Cool. Yeah, so just gonna talk to the Smoky here because it's part of the quest line itself. And then Sean is going to be able to just teleport back to Qualix Hollow, be able to talk to another friendly NPC in order to finish that out. Very nice.
Yeah, I think that like even the tech, just seeing that the tech has just been really fun to see. It's nice to see the bonus in here in this game in particular too, because I know with Blind Forest we had introduced that, but seeing it in Will of the Wisp as well, it's kind of it's amazing to see what the game can or cannot do when you put in the bonus, like, oh, we have like extra velocity, and you kind of get like that extra little, I don't know, horizontal movement, or just different things like that.
Yeah. Yeah, bonus pickups. Yeah, sir, go on, Sean.
I just want to shout out Toadette. Thanks for the reminder. It's probably nothing that matters, but it's a pickup.
And you finish out the 11 quests.
Oh, right.
Card. Very nicely done.
Yeah.
Yay.
I totally forgot about that part, to be honest.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's an ore at the top. Yeah, so now Sean is going to be working through glades to try and track down Glide. There is a reasonable probability at this point that is gated by repairing the shop. But a nice thing is that on Twyland's shop, we did see that he has one singular ore And then also, I don't remember if the other shop ended up having any ore. But yeah, so like there we found a large number of spear light. And that's because the game expects you, if you do indeed have to repair glades, it expects you to be able to do every single repair option. So you have to have all of the ore to be able to get access to them. But now, like, the highest density of pickups is going to indeed be, like, from just repairing glades itself. But there still is one pickup as well that is gated by flap that we haven't ended up checking, that Sean could also additionally check before doing any more repairs.
So it seems like I didn't actually need to do the reach escape to get enough quests, but it was fun.
Yeah! More Gareth Coker music. What? How could I ever complain about that?
Exactly. I agree. Plus, I actually kind of like the escapes. Like, all of them are well designed. Because I know, like, even in the Wastelands, the escape with, like, spoilers. If anyone in the Wasteland, I mean, it's about I don't know, it's been a few years, but hey. But basically, the Wastelands with the worm, I like the escape design route that they did with the video game. That I would say that's probably like one of my top favorites.
Yeah, totally. So here, what Sean is doing, we know that the item is in glades, but also it could be gated by a quest chain where you have to go to glades, talk to an NPC, get an item, then go to another biome and give that item to that person. And then that unlocks another interaction in glades. It's a quest line that's known as hand-to-hand and pretty notorious in the speedrun community for its length. But the nice thing for Sean is that he's already been to pretty much every single biome, so he already has all the waypoints. So he can pretty quickly go through the quest line itself. But yeah, no, it looks... Wow.
Oh, no.
Good news is that he is only one upgrade away from like fully repairing the town. And I can't remember the cost of the last one. But
I believe it's 8.
Yeah, I think it's 8.
Gonna see if there's any ore on these shops here.
Yeah, one on Twilin. I don't remember if there's one on...
Let's check over real quick here.
Yeah. So Twilin and Ophir are the two shops, and they appear in various locations. Oh, wow.
Oh,
very
wow.
nice. That is clutch.
Yeah.
Yeah. So getting all of those ores in Inkwater Marsh, and then also just getting those last 2 in the shop, and then boom, there's the final 8. So guaranteed to be able to finish out the seed now. Very, 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 very nice.
And rebuilding glades also counts as a quest, so hey, there's another extra quest.
Excellent. Good stuff. All right, great job, Sean. And so here we're gonna get to pick up. It's not glide, not yet. Where is it gonna be?
Where is it? Yeah.
There's another. I think there's another hut that ends up getting unlocked. In that one that we haven't been in yet.
Is it on the very top?
Oh no, that one's just money.
No, that one's just Spirit Light. Yeah.
Yeah. 2 pickups
right
in this
here.
one.
Yeah. That's a Gore.
Oh.
Wait, what? Where is it?
Isn't that area with Flash? Is it in the cave?
Oh no, Sean did that already.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Oh boy.
Oh, did I not get the tree? No,
I think you
No.
did.
The logic can't be Moldwood Depths teleporter, can it? No, I got
Not for getting glide, no. I think it requires both glide and Moldwood Depths teleporter for teleporter to be logical progression, I believe.
Oh, plant.
Oh, you know what? There's pickups I'm forgetting. The pickups on the way to Wellspring
Right.
count as glades.
So which ones didn't you check? So you've already done a lot of them, I believe.
Yeah.
I think I skipped this one on my first time through. Because I think there's just... Yeah, because
the
there's
shrine.
one skill in glades, and so I skipped some pickups earlier. Yeah.
I see.
Because I'm like, oh, there's only one skill in glades. It's probably not that important, is it? But no. Oh boy,
Oh no.
There it is.
that's a little embarrassing.
No,
Yeah,
you're
it's
wrong.
We got to see more.
Yeah.
And I
see
skipped
more
that pickup
Ori.
earlier, and it bit me. That's how the randomizer works.
Yeah.
If you skip pickups to try to save
Go fast.
time, it's gonna bite you sometimes.
But in all,
Totally.
yeah, but in all honesty, it wasn't that bad in terms of like we got to see more Ori and then see more about like how the world works too. But also, to be honest, like that's not a bad spot. That's like an easily recoverable spot. There's been times where I completely random myself, and I'm just like,
Right.
oh no.
And so that door, entrance into this area was the entire reason we needed Glide. That's it.
Yep.
To be able to come in. Without Glide, that door literally does not open.
Yep.
So, but we could also find a teleporter that's like very close to the end of the quote unquote dungeon area itself, near the Mora fight. But here, yep, just destroying these blips is going to destroy those and reveal the light, bringing it back in, and that is going to indeed be the 25th and final square, but we're not done yet, folks. Sean has opted to also add on the extra condition in order to be able to defeat the Shriek fight as the end timing of the speedrun itself. So we do have more content. We do have a few more corrupted hearts to get through, as well as the final boss fight itself.
Yeah, see, this is why I like the strategy in the very beginning when we did Willow's End, because we already have some of the hearts done, and now we just have to finish those hearts that are in the rest of the dungeon. Nicely done, by the way, on the navigating. And yeah, and then like we're gonna get over to our final boss.
Yep. So Sean just looking at his shards. He has a lot of good damage options as well. Reckless, Life Force.
Let's see here.
Yeah, and then using Light Grenade and Sentry here is excellent. Form Grenade, even by itself, just absolutely shreds this boss apart. So very nice fight from Sean. Just absolutely showcasing off how devastating Light Grenade is in this game.
Yeah, Light Grenade is completely. I mean, Grenade and BF, like the Blind Forest, was completely different too. But we have, grenade jumps. I had to do it. Covert. And I mean, it's different functions, but they really did a good job designing, like, overall, like, oh, hey, we have Grenade, but Grenade is different for the second game versus the first game. So I actually did appreciate that. But in the first game, we do have grenade jumps, so I have to say those are pretty nice to have.
But it's great.
Yeah. Because, I mean, here, the grenade is amazing, too, just because you get that extra lip, especially when you're doing the randomizer. It's good to have, like, oh, okay, this skills gives me into this zone in this area that I wasn't able to reach beforehand. And I don't need to have launch, or you don't need to have, like, some kind of vertical movement, especially in the early stages. And if you do, like, a random spawn point, grenade does help with those kind of cases.
Yeah, a lot of getting access to additional pickups, which is known as a form of progression, is oftentimes gated by verticality in these games. So the ability to generate additional height for your character itself. So the sword and double jump are great tools, but like Grenade, utilizing the glitch in this game for the form of grenade jumps is just incredibly invaluable. Grenade definitely is arguably the most powerful skill in Will-O-the-Wisp Randomizer.
What did I forget?
Top right one.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. I didn't get that one on the way in because there's no pickup in this area. It's just the creep art.
Exactly, yeah.
Man.
Yeah, so one more corrupted heart, and then we get to go into the Shriek fight itself. But yeah, very, very nicely done. Very scary seed, because so much of the map got opened up incredibly early, right? Burrow into clean water in Silent Woods in order to get access to the starting areas of the map. And then like Water Dash, just sort of like sealing that mobility to be able to check like pretty much almost every single pickup on the map very early in logic. So this seed could have been really, really mean, especially with the bingo board.
Come on.
Yeah. But
Let's see.
overall, just a very jet seed, very fast, especially considering that Sean ended up doing all 25 bingo squares, right?
Oh boy. Okay, I'm gonna need to take some damage here.
Yeah, word. So a really funny thing too in like speedrunning randomizer is it is incredibly easy to just forget like what skills you have because you spend like 90% of the seed just like not utilizing glide, and then Sean just like has glide here. But with all the skill velocities and stuff, it's like very, very difficult to actually work through that section in particular. So nicely done from Sean to be able to get through. But yeah, nice grenade float there, just going up. And here we go. This is going to be Shriek, which is going to have 3 phases in the fight. The first one's pretty quick. The second one is going to be the longest. And the third one is also very quick.
I did have a good question, and I do want to ask, how closely integrated is the bingo board with the rando? Is the board updated manually or automatically?
Automatically. Yeah. It's just completely automatic. Like as long as you have a Discord account, which is pretty much whenever you do speedrunning, like Discord is sort of the forum as well as like voice chat that like the grand majority of speedrunning communities use. Sean there actually doing something really cool, just going to point this out. He's going to be throwing light grenade at very specific times during the fight in order to drive. But oh no!
No.
Yeah, just ran out of double jumps and launch there. So he's going to have to do this escape portion of the fight. Once again, no problem. It's pretty short. But yeah, they're throwing that light grenade. But yeah, so it's very, very easy. It's very convenient to be able to just use the automatic bingo service. It's definitely incredibly, incredibly nice that we don't have to manually do this. So as long as you have an internet connection as well as Discord, then you can end up using that functionality. Okay.
Ooh, dicey. Oh, okay. We're having fun here.
Oh no.
Let's see here.
You can do flash swaps. I would not want to see flash swaps, but you can do them. Grapple. So if you sword stall in the air, you can grapple.
Okay.
Oh,
that
nice.
should be fine.
Okay.
All right. I just had to think there because that was a precarious position.
Yeah, so they're just falling down into that mist would have caused Sean to take a death and have to restart the escape itself. But very, very nice improvisation from his part to be able to close it out. And yeah, we're almost done with the second phase. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. That's good RNG. And there we go. Okay. So now, Sean, if he wanted to, he could take a death to reset his health. But instead, he just has regen and it's just going to heal up. And then the floor is going to start disappearing. And then we'll be able to actually deal damage after sort of a dive sequence from Shriek here. But time is going to be coming up on the final hit on Shriek, just as a heads up. Okay, this is going to be tricky with Sean because he has all these skill velocities. Okay, get ready on time. And time.
Ooh, good game, everybody.
Yo, GG, Sean.
Good.
Well played.
Oh boy. Thank you for coming,
Incredible stuff,
everybody.
Sean.
Yeah. That was honestly super impressive. I really appreciate everybody and the community coming and everything like that. Was there, while we're here, was there anything left to, like, did you have any shout outs for anyone? I'm going to go with Shonovan first, and then we'll go with Covert. Just, you know, if there's anything you want to say or any tips or advice for anyone who wants to get involved, anything like that, you could take it from here.
Mostly, I just want to thank the developers who put so many hours into making this randomizer mod for Ori that has been so much fun for like so many people, and I highly encourage everyone in the chat to give it a shot. And you Muffin?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I can't agree enough. The communities are amazing. We've been seeing that post with all the links, and every single one is a good one. wotw.orirando.com, as we see Rue posting in the chat now, as well as that Discord link will bring you to our official speedrunning Discord as well. And then if you're interested in speedrunning the base game, speedrun.com/Ori_WOTW. I also, all of the devs for this game are absolutely incredible. They are active. They are still continuously working and adding in more features, especially around approachability and accessibility, which is amazing. But then one dev in particular, ZRE, thank you so much. Like ZRE, this morning, we reached out to him about something with bingo in order to make the bingo board just be accessible by chat during the performance itself. And they literally just took something from a beta version of the randomizer that they are actively working on and just ported it back to the most recent stable version of the randomizer. So thank you so much, ZRE, as well as everybody else who has worked on developing the randomizer. But besides this, we have weekly races for the Ori randomizers, both with the Blind Forest randomizer as well as the Will of the Wisp randomizer. You can join those by joining the Discord and then going to the respective randomizer channels. And if you have any questions, if you have any troubles with approaching the randomizer, everybody is super friendly, super welcoming. And you don't need to be a speedrunner to try out these randomizers. We do have forms of logic that are definitely focused on like a glitchless approach, right? So you don't need to do all these absolutely incredible and bonkers things that we saw Sean bust out here on the GDQ show itself. But then besides that, thank you, Sean, for having me on Couch, and major thank you, Rue, for bringing Ori back to GDQ Hotfix. Always a pleasure to be here, showing off our amazing community.
Aww.
Thank you so much, Rue, for having me, and thank you so much, Muffin, for coming along on short notice to be able to commentate.
Yeah, of course. My pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, both of you. Ori hug. I want to be like Ori hug. Thank you both for being here. And honestly, this was just, I'm a little like, this is near and dear to my heart, but honestly, this is just like a moment that is just beautiful to watch and to be a part of and to host for the show. And definitely everybody, I've been posting the links. Anyone, we are a very welcoming community. Everybody, if you want to follow the runners, if you want to, ask Covert Muffin some tips or questions about even Blind Forest or even, Will the Wisp, did a great job commentating. Shonovan did a great job showcasing. And yeah, I just recommend highly following these two on their Twitch channels, but also anyone that's interested in the Ori community, there's all that information right there as well. And I just want to say thank you all. I hope we have a nice, cozy, comfy night. And thank you for all showing up. You're all cute. And just a few more things before we head on out. I just want to kind of remind everybody. Sorry, I have to take a breath. Remind everybody that for Sunday, tune in. Your very own producer, Ray, will be speedrunning the Chrono Cross Radical Dreamers edition on Tina's RPG show, I guess, starting at 1 p.m. Eastern. I definitely recommend watching that. Also, we do have highlights. So if you are watching our Hotfix shows, we do have highlights. They are on our YouTube. So definitely, like tonight, we're going to be having all of the highlights show up on the YouTube episodes for Legally Cute, and just be tuned to stay out for that because I have some pretty good ones. There might be a Tada and there might be Silent Hill somewhere. So, just stay tuned and always check out the YouTube channel for Games Done Quick, as well as for all of our other Hotfix shows that we have highlights for. Anywho, thank you all. I appreciate y'all. You're all beautiful. Have a good night. And remember, be cute, cozy, and be comfortable for the rest of the evening. Thank you again, and have a good night.